Guys, my name is Dr. Audrey Tanksley, and just a little bit about my background. I'm an internal medicine physician. I'm board certified in two specialties, internal medicine and addiction medicine. And for me, addiction medicine is so important. Thank you. It's so important because there aren't very many physicians who specialize in that specific area, and yet we have so many patients who and many people who suffer from significant ailments that come from substance use and other addictions. I wanted to talk to you guys today. The name of my talk is Holiday Cheers, and I was very specific in that I wanted to talk to us just about drinking during the holidays in general, because everybody is not an alcoholic or has alcohol use disorder, but most people overdrink during the holidays. I'll tell you, when I ask individuals in the clinic, tell me about your drinking patterns, usually it's I drink socially, or I drink on weekends, or I only drink on holidays. And I think that brings up a very important concept for us to remember, that most people drink around the holidays. That does not make that troublesome use, but it is a time of year that we can be very risky in our behaviors. And regardless whether you drink every single day or you just drink on the holidays, when you're using inappropriately or in excess, then your risk is the same, right? So just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And because I am a physician, and for everybody that knows me, so share, and tag a friend, because they always know that I'm gonna give you some stats. And I'm gonna tell you a little something, just so you got a little arsenal in your bag. So while we talk about this, deaths related to alcohol consumption increase tremendously around the holidays. Fatalities increase, especially traffic fatalities, increase like 40% around the holidays. One of the things that we noticed, and when I used to be a hospitalist, and I would, take care of patients that were in the intensive care unit or were coming in through the emergency room and needed to be admitted to the hospital. One of the things that we saw often, we used to call it holiday heart, right? Because we would see that around the holidays, individuals would use more alcohol and have more heart conditions. Why is that, right? It's not just that unlucky person. There's science behind that. We know that when you drink excessively, so I'm going to back up a little bit, and I'm talking just a tad bit fast, but this is recorded, so go back and listen, get your notebook and take notes again. But I want to make sure we get a chance to kind of get a little fun activity in. But when you're drinking a normal, standard drink for anyone, standard drink, 5 ounces of alcohol, of wine, 1 can, 12-ounce can of beer, 1 shot of hard alcohol. That's a standard drink. And our body is really only able to process 1 standard drink per hour, which is the reason that we always say, if you are using alcohol, don't drink more than 1 drink per hour, because that's really all your body is able to metabolize in that period of time. People often, we just put a bottle of wine down. Well, how many of us were there? Because there are 5 glasses of wine in a bottle of wine. And so if I'm drinking an entire bottle of wine myself, then I've just binge drank, right? Because anything over the recommended amount, and a recommended amount which is 0, but if you're going to drink, then the standard recommended amounts that we know people can consume without significant harm to themselves is, for women, 2 drinks in one setting, no more than 7 drinks in a week. And for men, no more than 3 to 4 drinks in one setting, no more than 14 in a week. So if you're drinking more than that, and just for my folks that are like, oh, I don't drink wine, I just take shots. There are 16 shots in a fifth of alcohol. 750 milliliters of alcohol has 16 shots. So if you and your friend just put down the entire fifth, I'm just saying that was over drinking. So what do we want you guys to do for the holidays, right? Because as I was mentioning before, the heart That excessive drinking on the heart really makes the heart have to pump harder. And our body, our liver is really great, but it can only do a few things or a couple things at the same time. And adrenaline, which is like cortisol, which is what keeps, people like me super active and excited all the time. Our liver is what breaks that down. So if your liver is trying to break down alcohol and you're already really excited because it's the weekend, it's the holidays, y'all like turned up, it's the holiday party, then it's trying to break down the alcohol and trying to break down the adrenaline, which is putting excess work on your heart and increasing the risk of things like heart attacks, heart failure, exacerbations. Okay. So, not keep beating this horse, just know alcohol use during the holidays is extremely, extremely important for us to not use risky drinking. So try to stay within those limits. Why do people even drink during that time? Because we're off, right? We've had a hard year. It's the time that we are all relaxing. We're going to holiday parties and it's abundant and it's present. And so what are some things that you can do that can help you? Because the first thing I want you to know is you do not have to drink. If you do not want to drink, you don't have to drink. Peer pressure is real. Social pressures are there, but you have every right to make the choice to say no anytime that you do not want to do anything. And just make sure you got your excuses ready, because people are going to keep asking you questions. And one of the things we know about the human brain is that the human brain gets decision fatigue. So the more often that I have to keep saying no, the more often I have to keep making this choice not to do this, the more likely that 501st time I'm gonna be like, you know what, just here, pour me one, right? Because I am now tired of constantly having to do that. It is absolutely something that happens that we see in addiction medicine in people who have cravings, that they have to, and that's why we use certain modalities in order to actually help them to diminish those cravings. So same thing can happen with us. So there have been times that I've gone to holiday parties, and I'm just going to say, doctors always have alcohol at their holiday parties. And so I was, there have been periods of time where I've been personally doing spiritual fast. And so I've not wanted to indulge in any alcohol during those times. Or maybe I'm just trying to watch my figure because alcohol is full of a lot of empty calories and I just don't want to have a drink, right? I also don't drink if I'm driving. There have been some exceptions to that. And this is full transparency because I don't want anybody to think that Dr. Audrey isn't a real person too. And I do have a drink every once in a while, but you set your limits and you stick to them. So if you are, okay, I'm going to probably have a drink if I go to the bar or go to the party, then I am only going to have one drink. That's it. The rest of the time, I'm going to drink water or I'm going to drink a mocktail, right? Which looks just like a drink. And there's many of them. I have a good friend. We go out, doesn't drink, has been in sobriety for over 20 years. Goes to the bar and can I get an easy living every time, right? And every bartender knows what that is. It is a non-alcoholic beverage. There's Shirley Temples. There's just getting juice. There's just getting water. All of those things are acceptable things, and you should not, as many of our presenters have said already, from nutrition to mental health to finance, don't beat yourself up, right? That's not going to make you make better choices. That's going to make you continue to feel down and make poor choices. So, let it go. Make sure if you are going to drink that you have a plan for safety. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's the adage I was taught. And so if driving, not a good idea. I've lost a number of people to substance-related injuries and accidents. And I'm telling you, it's not a very pretty picture. So, the best thing to do is Uber. Realistically, I told you I'm super transparent. My daughter just turned 21. Yay. However, I was realistic, right? She's not at home with me. She's away. She's at school. She's in college. Her friends, it was homecoming weekend. I can already look at this as a disaster ready to happen if we're not planning, right? And so I made sure that I contacted her friends and her, and I said, this pot of money is for Uber. Do not drive any point during this weekend because there are unnecessary risks that you take, right? And so what we need to do is to start planning and making sure that we are in control and that a substance is not in control. Okay, know what you're drinking. A lot of times we go to parties and people have spiked whatever, and the eggnog got a little extra, and you may not know. And so you definitely want to make sure you ask the host, hey, what's going on? Get you a buddy. There's probably somebody else who doesn't want to drink too, right? And so you can just, hey, we're going to keep each other going for the night, or let the host know. A lot of times if the host is aware, then they'll make sure that there are non-alcoholic beverages available as well too that are tasty and not just water, okay? So find your allies, and if you don't want to explain yourself, you really don't have to. For those who are going to have a drink, let me just say, pace yourself. As I mentioned before, sorry, I got out the camera a little bit, but I'm about to get ready to prepare this. As I mentioned before, the body is only able to break down alcohol at a certain rate per hour, that you cannot speed that up. There is nothing you can take to slow that down. All you can do is just wait it out. And so you really don't want to drink more than that 1 drink per hour. Drink water in between, because alcohol is very, very dehydrating. So anybody who's ever drank before knows that old term, like when you break the seal, you go to the bathroom and then you're just going to keep going and keep going. It's very dehydrating, and so it's like a diuretic. It's going to make you continue to urinate, and so you want to make sure that you are replacing that. What I am going to prepare for you guys today is just very quickly a little drink. It is called a cran raz. Typically, when this drink is done with alcohol, that you add other spirits to it, but the only spirit we're going to add is the Spirit of the Lord today. So we are going to, just want to show you guys what the ingredients of this is. One big thing about alcohol and drinking, and that's one of the reasons that I don't really encourage people to indulge a lot, because it can be very, as I mentioned, full of empty calories, and so you can gain weight unnecessarily, and it provides the abdominal weight, that apple obesity, which puts a lot of pressure on your heart. So really a lot of it can be some of the mixtures that you're using. So, if you are going to, again, you can get, diet cranberry, you can get, diet tonic, those kind of things. So cran raz is a real easy drink. Just going to pour this. So if you basically are doing this at home, this one serves about 4 people. I'm going to make a few more in the back later, just for other people who may want to taste this. This is just cranberry juice. It's 3 simple ingredients, so it's literally just cranberry juice, tonic, or seltzer, depending on how much fizz you really like, and lime juice. And so essentially you want to take 2 ounces, or what is about 2 cups. You know what? I probably should have did this in a picture. My picture is over there, so that's okay. I'm just going to do like this for right now. 2 cups of this, because this happens to be a bigger thing, so I can do this. It's going to go up to 4 cups while they grab the picture for me. So 2 cups of cranberry, 2 cups of, see that fizz, gives you that, like, thank you, sir. I got all kind of assistance, you guys. Isn't this amazing? Love it. Okay, 2 cups of the seltzer. Now I'm going to try not to spill this as I pour this in there, because I really would have rather done that a different way, but all good. So I don't even have to use my shaker. That's just there for decoration, you guys, because it really isn't a shake and drink. It's a pour over ice. It was just, because I thought this should look really nice. And what you do, so once you mix those 2, then you want to go ahead and put, so typically you're going to do, couple ounces, 2.5 or 2 ounces of lime juice. Yeah, of lime juice. And so just so you know, I brought this. This was actually for Dr. Constance. I collect shot glasses, and so every state I go to, I get one. And I thought this was my funniest one. This says, "Don't mess with women from Texas," and y'all see what it's shaped like right here. I thought it was super funny. But so a standard shot glass, you guys, is 1.5 ounces. And so this is what a standard drink is, right? So when people go to the bar and give me a double shot, you have just had 2 drinks, right? So remember that that's too much for 1 hour. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to throw 3 ounces in there because I like wine. Okay, so we'll mix that up. We'll put this over ice. It's called cran ras. Why? Because I froze you guys some strawberries. Some raspberries. So you take the drink over ice. You can throw a couple frozen raspberries in there. So we'll put 1 and 2, and they kind of thaw it out a little bit, but that's okay. So we pour it right over. And we can garnish it with a little. Now, why do we do all of this? Because even though your friend isn't drinking, they still want to look like they're part of the party, okay? So a lot of it is the perception. Like, I really think people wouldn't drink as much if the drinks weren't pretty and didn't have umbrellas and stuff in them, right? So this one's going to be mine because I just dropped that in there. But just a little on the top, right? And then you can cheers, holiday cheers. And this has no alcohol in it whatsoever. And it's very refreshing and, pretty light. So you can make a picture of this and make sure that if you have friends that are coming over that don't want to indulge in alcohol or don't want to indulge in drinking, that you have more than just the wine selection, that you have something for them as well too. So cheers.
The Salam Community Wellness Center was launched in 2020 in response to the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had on the Black and Brown communities on Chicago's South Side. In the 16 months since we were established, we have acquired and renovated a 3,300 square foot facility in the Woodlawn community. We have 4 exam rooms which were outfitted with the generous donations from individual donors. Our next step is to launch our unique, innovative, integrative program to address the needs of culturally competent primary care, addictive treatment, mental and nutrition services. We will be using mind-body exercises such as deep breathing meditation, yoga, and Tai Chi. Nutrition, educational, and counseling will be provided incorporating the food as medicine model to address chronic illnesses such as diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. The program will address poor access to healthy foods through the installation of its community garden. This space will also serve as a holistic healing space where patients and community members will have the opportunity to learn about and participate in. Thank you for your contributions, and we look forward to your continued support.